So as I started out saying, "Oh, I want to have a podcast," but I didn't know what that looked like. I want to have a YouTube show, but I didn't know what that looked like. I went to the CES show in Las Vegas, and I went around and I asked all of the people that were at the Adobe labs and all the different spots along the way, if I was going to learn a piece of editing software, which one should I learn? Because I have to learn one, but I don't want to come back 6 months down the road and go, "Oh, I wish I'd learned this one instead." Everybody directed me towards the Adobe Creative Suite because there's the audio portion of it with Adobe Audition and there's Premiere, and they link together, which was really helpful for me because if you do the audio editing for a podcast, you can sync it with the video and the audio editing then is already done and you don't have to do it twice. So for me, it was a work smart, not hard effort. If I was going to learn one program, I might as well learn them both and then integrate them together. So that's what we did. In the beginning, it was just me. So I liked the fact that it was just me because I wasn't counting on guests, for example, to come be a part of my show because I didn't have, well, quite frankly, I didn't have the skills to do the contacting people and to do the waiver forms and scheduling and all that stuff. I wasn't set up for that. I wasn't equipped for that, but I knew I could count on myself. And so what does that look like for a show? So I sat down and I said, well, in a perfect world, if it was a YouTube show, I'd have all this B-roll and I'd have, videos of me doing this and that. It would be super cool. But I don't have that right now. Right now, I'm the writer, the director, the researcher, the talent, the editor, the marketer. I'm all of those things. And so if I'm going to do all of those things, I got to do it in a way that makes sense for me. And so I was listening to podcasts, like, what is a podcast? Oh, they're hour-long productions. And I was like, I can't do an hour-long production, maybe but once a week. And then I said to myself, is it better to do one 1-hour production or to do 7 short 8-minute shows? Because it's the same content. And then I said, well, from a search engine optimization standpoint, it makes sense for me if I did 7 short shows and I just did one every single day. And that way I could hit on a different keyword or a different angle of the business every single day. My thinking for that was, if I lose you today, I might win you back tomorrow with a different show from a slightly different angle. But if I lose you this week, you may not come back next week. Or if I lose you for 3 or 4 weeks in a row, you might just go on and find someone else's podcast. So for me, it was a strategy of, can I work smart and can I use the search engines to help me gain my place in the market? That was my goal. So getting started, it was just me. And in the beginning, my days were like 16-hour days. I don't want to lie to you, but it was a lot of work because I had so many learning curves. I was very absent on social media. So I was learning social media and I was learning editing and I was learning video. And I mean, my early videos are just atrocious. I mean, the lighting is bad. The color correction is off. There was no B-roll. They're just awful. But what can I do? And I would rather get started and be crappy, knowing that every show is going to get better, than never start at all. And so what does that look like for me? So what that looks like is I can stand in one spot and I can talk to a camera and I can share the information that I've gathered over the last 30 years being a professional house cleaner. I was confident in my information, but I was not confident in anything else. And I was like, oh man, this is super scary. What if I screw up? And then I said, you know what? You are going to screw up. It is a fact. It is a given. So get out there and go screw up and get started already. And I was like, okay, I can do this. So I was at a trade show and I had gone to several trade shows kind of looking around for ideas. And I walked past a trade show and I got stuck on this gigantic picture at a trade show booth. And it was on a stretch fabric display. And I said, oh my goodness, that is my answer. If a picture says 1,000 words, what is my one picture that I can add to the backdrop of every show? And it's the picture that you see behind me of gigantic cleaning supplies. And so I took the picture, I stretched it onto an 8x10 stretch fabric display so that it's a trade show booth that can travel with me if I go to a show or something. But it's my backdrop, so I don't have to redecorate my backdrop every day. I can set up my lights, I can walk into one room, I can do my 8-minute show, and then I can leave and go spend the rest of the day editing it and learning the social media and all the other stuff that goes along with it. So in the beginning, it was just me for the first 180 shows.